Hello, dear students. Welcome to this lesson, which is intended for grade 11 students. In this lesson, we are going to talk about films. That is, if you want to comment on films, if you want to judge whether a film is good or not. But when you write a report or a review of films, you have to keep certain things in mind. If you want to learn about these things, please make sure you stay with us after this short break. Welcome back, dear students. In this lesson, we are going to talk about uses of cameras. Now this is uses of cameras is the title of the lesson, but our lesson today is from the workbook. So it is the workbook, lesson 3, and it is a reading passage about films, about writing film reviews. Of course, before we start the lesson, we are going to go through the new words in this lesson. So our first term, our first word is, if you look at the picture here, it shows a little girl who is highly excited. She looks like waiting for something. And another picture of a little boy who is also extremely happy, and it says, anticipation is the electricity of childhood. So from these pictures, we can deduce our word, which is anticipation. Anticipation is a noun, and it means the act of predicting and expecting something. When you predict or you expect something, we say that you have an anticipation, and it is a noun. Note here, please, that whenever we talk about vocabulary items, we insist on showing their parts of speech, their pronunciation, their meaning, and how they are used in sentences. So our word here, anticipation, is a noun. This is its definition, and a sentence illustrating its meaning could be, after months of anticipation, the holiday was actually a bit of disappointment. That is, after months of waiting, of excitedly waiting for something, it turned out to be a sort of disappointment. Our next word is, again, if you look at the picture, here we have a picture of actors, and since we are talking about films, so we have to talk about actors. Now, if you want to film a movie, if you want to make a film, what do you need? Of course, you need actors. Now, how are you going to choose actors? Are you going to assign roles haphazardly? That is, just you take this role and you take the other? No, you need to carefully choose each character for each role. And this is what we call cast. To cast, it is a noun, and it could be a verb. So if it is a noun, it means the actors in a play or a film. So when talking about a film, you can say the cast was marvelous, was well chosen. And if you want to use it as a verb, you can say to choose actors for roles in a play, film, or etc. And a sentence illustrating the meaning of this word is, part of the film's success lies in the strength of the supporting cast. And you can notice here that the word cast is a noun. So the word cast means choosing actors for a film, or it could be the actors of film are also called as the cast. Our next word is, if you look here at the expression, everyone's a critic. Everyone's a critic is an expression, and it means everyone has a right to express an opinion and it's often used in an ironic way. When you say to someone, everyone's a critic, it means you are criticizing. You are not saying the right things. For example, when someone gives a comment and you don't like it, or you think that this person is not apt to that comment, you say, well, everyone's a critic. It means that you have the right to say whatever you like. A sentence could be, if someone gives you a negative comment which you don't like, you can say, everyone's a critic. Our next word is soundtrack. Soundtrack. It is a noun, and it means a recording of the musical accompaniment to a movie. In every movie, you have some music which is played at the background of the film. Now, this music is called soundtrack. Soundtrack. A sentence which uses this word could be, the best thing about the film was its soundtrack. You may not enjoy anything in a film except its soundtrack if it is well composed. And our next word is, if you look at the picture here, it's a student who seems sad, and behind him you have other students who are looking at a list. Maybe it's school, the results of an exam, and students are looking whether they have passed or not. And probably this sad student at the front of the picture is very sad because he did not pass. So why do you think students fail in exams? Yes? Because they are not prepared enough for the exam, or because they are not up to scratch. They are not up to scratch, that is, they are not able or ready to pass this year. So up to scratch means up to standard. Up to standard. And a sentence illustrating this word could be, I fired the employee because his work wasn't up to scratch. That is, wasn't reasonable, was not acceptable, was not up to standard. Okay, that's all for the vocabulary items in this lesson. Before we move to our reading passage, we are going to see a few exercises on these words that we have seen so far. So the sentence or the question says, choose the best answer from A, B, C, and D, and you have your sentence and you have the choices. You have to choose the right answer. All the students were waiting in as the teacher distributed the corrected exam papers, and you have capability, audience, anticipation, pedestal. I'll give you 10 seconds to answer this question. Yes. And the correct answer is anticipation. I hope you got it right. So all the students were waiting in anticipation as the teacher distributed the corrected exam papers. You can visualize the situation. The teacher distributing papers and every student is waiting in anticipation. Okay. Our next exercise is, your video lacks music. You will need to add your own, and you have the choices, and I give you your 10 seconds. Yes, your answer is excellent. Soundtrack. Okay, that was not that difficult because we have video music. So video music, it should be soundtrack. And another one, actors are not in movies based on their diplomas. And you have the choices, and you have also your 10 seconds. So the correct answer must be excellent, cast. So actors are not cast in movies based on their diplomas. of course, based on their abilities, on their skills. Now we are going to go into the reading passage, which is entitled The Next Generation of Critics. Here we have an article which consists of a few paragraphs, and your task is to read the article and match the paragraph headings 1 and 5 below with the 5 paragraphs A and E in the article. That is, you are going to give a title for each paragraph. Now this is the list of our headings. Character analysis, honesty is the best quality, enjoy the direction, don't forget the others, the story is important. We have 5 titles and we have 5 paragraphs. Our text is, as you can see, you have the first introduction and then paragraph A, B, C, D, and E. We are going to see each one in isolation. This is the introduction. Okay, just read it.
Since the beginning of the film industry, film reviews have been an essential way of advising us which films we should see, and which we should avoid. With the increasing rise of internet journalism, it could be argued that everyone's a critic nowadays. Whether you're writing for an online magazine, newspaper, fan forum, or even your own blog, it's never been easier to share your opinions. However, it's the quality that counts, not the quantity, and film reviews should always be well written. Remember, you are judging somebody else's creativity, so your own should be up to scratch too. Here is some advice for young writers who think they have some opinions to share.
Okay, that was the introduction paragraph. Now we are going to see the other parts of the article and find the title which fits them best. This is the paragraph A, and this is your list. Character analysis, honesty is the best quality, enjoy the direction, don't forget the others, the story is important. So you are going to listen to the paragraph and read it at the same time, and then you decide which title could match it best.
Whilst you are watching your chosen film, keep a notepad and pen handy so you can note down your ideas and any memorable moments or quotes. Write down what you think of the plot. You may be impressed by the special effects, but without a decent storyline, the effects are meaningless. Most reviews are only 250-500 words, so don't waste time retelling the story.
Okay, so this paragraph could be summarized or could be entitled either character analysis or honesty or enjoy the direction or don't forget or the story. What do you think the answer is? Fine. Yes, the story is important. And it says here, in the middle, but without a decent storyline, the effects are meaningless. It means that the story is most important. Our second paragraph is, again, you have the paragraph and you have the choices. You are going to listen and then decide which title matches it best.
What do you think of the acting? Did the actors have good chemistry? Were they appropriately cast? It's important not to be biased when you are reviewing. Even though the lead character may be played by your favorite actor, it doesn't necessarily mean they are suited to this film.
Again, which title is matching this paragraph? Yes? Character analysis, that's fine. And it's clear here, did the actors, okay? Even though the lead character, so it talks about characters. Let's go on with the same exercise, and this time paragraph C. Now this is your text, and this is the list of titles, and you are going to listen and read and then decide which title is appropriate. Okay, listen please.
There are many ways to tell the same story, and it's the director's decision how to present each scene to the audience. Do you think the story could have been more interesting or enjoyable? Or were you waiting for each new scene with anticipation, hoping it would be as good as the last?
Okay, so what title do you think matches this paragraph? Yes, enjoy the direction. Excellent. Because it says here the director's decision. Okay? So it talks about the director of a film. And the next paragraph is D, and this is it. And you have the list of titles. You are going again to listen and then decide the best title.
Think about the people who are part of a film's production team, such as editors, costume designers and composers. There are many elements to a good film. Which element did you think stood out the most? Most film award ceremonies have special awards for soundtracks, makeup, special effects, etc. So you should consider them too before you write your review.
Okay, so what does this paragraph talk about? Yes, your choice must be excellent. Don't forget the others. Who are these others? They are the editors, costume designers, composers, etc. Okay, these are the people that contribute to the production of a film. Our next paragraph is and the list of titles. And please listen.
Don't be shy. The most respected reviewers are always the most honest. Everyone may have told you the film was rubbish, but if you enjoyed it, say so. After you have written your review, don't forget to reread and edit it before printing your final version.
Okay, so which title could best describe this paragraph? Yes, excellent. It is honesty is the best quality. Now here, honesty, it is clearly explained in the most respected reviewers are always the most honest. Okay, honest, honesty. So this is the best title for this paragraph. Okay, now that we have identified the titles for each paragraph, we are going to go into more detailed analysis of these paragraphs. But remember, we are studying language and content. So in addition to the information, we need to see the language which is used in these paragraphs. For this, we are going to read the paragraphs and find words which match these definitions. We have some definitions and their locations. The first one is in the introduction, and then the second one is in paragraph B, the 2, and then 2 examples from paragraph A, 1 from C, 1 from D, and 1 from E. Okay, this is the introduction, and this is the definition. We are going to find a word in the paragraph which means a personal website, most typically written as an ongoing narrative. So you are going to look at the paragraph and find a word which means this definition. So I'll give you a few seconds. Yes. And the word is excellent. Blog. Blog could be described as a personal website, most typically written as an ongoing narrative. That is, it is blog. So this type of question could be given to you in a reverse order. In other terms, it can give you the word, and then you find its appropriate definition. Here, we give you the definition, and you find the word. But it can be the other way around. That is, we give you the word, and you find the appropriate definition. As the example here, the same exercise could be done in this way. The underlined word blog means, now you have the word blog underlined, and you have different definitions, and the answer is personal website. Okay? But for this lesson, our exercise or our drill is to find the word which match the definition. So that was for the introduction. Now we're going to move to the first paragraph. Now, paragraph A, you have 2 words. One which means convenient to use, close at hand, and another, the plot or narrative of a film or TV program. So which words from the text are explained by these definitions? Concentrate on the first one. Convenient to use, close at hand is handy. and it is in the second line. Then the second one, the plot or narrative, is, yes, the storyline. Again, handy, convenient. Storyline, the plot. Paragraph B, we have two definitions: to choose actors for roles in a play and have an opinion about something, often and fairly. So very quickly go through the paragraph. The first one is cast, to choose actors, cast, and it is in the first word in the third line. And the next one, have an opinion, to be biased, have an opinion about something, often and fairly, that is, an opinion which is not correct. And paragraph C, again we have only one definition this time: the feeling of looking forward to something eagerly. I guess we saw this word earlier in this lesson, and it must be the word anticipation. Again, anticipation means the feeling of looking forward to something eagerly. Next paragraph, we have the definition: a person who connects shots to form a film is called what? You can find it from the paragraph. It is editor. So editor is the person who connects shots to form a film. And the last paragraph, we have definition: regarded highly. What word in the paragraph describes this definition? It is, yes, respected. Okay? Now very quickly I'm going to summarize the words that we have seen in this lesson. They are, as you see, two lists: anticipation, cast, everyone's a critic; soundtrack, up to scratch. And you have respected, blog, handy, editor, by storyline. I hope now you are comfortable with these words and you can use them in different contexts, and at least you can identify them if you are given them in exercises. Now our next task is to answer some set book questions. The first one says, in your opinion, what makes a good film? We have seen the different things that make a good film. For example, you can talk about, yes, I think the story, that is, the storyline, is important. The story, I think the story is what counts most. A film cannot be successful without an impressive story which can attract viewers and increase their suspense. Of course, not any story is good for a film. It should attract viewers. Photography and special effects are also important, but they cannot stand on their own. Of course, if you have a film with good special effects and photography, but no appropriate storyline, then it will be a failure. So a good film should be based on a good story and good techniques in photography and special effects. So that was question number one. Our next question is, in your opinion, what are the points that should be considered when writing a film review? When you write a film review, that is, if you want to recommend a film to someone or if you want to give your opinion about a film, what things should you include in your report? For example, we can say a film review should include a brief description of the plot, that is the events of the story. It should also talk about the actors, whether they were successfully cast or not, the soundtracks, special effects, and makeup. All these things should be considered when writing a film review. A good film review should be original and express your personal opinion. It should be original. It means it should be from your own opinion, not taken from others. So that's just a sample answer. Of course, you can talk about other things, but remember, concerning film review, when you write a film review. Next question is, what are the qualities of a good film critic? We say film critic or film review. They are both the same. So what are the qualities? Now, when we say the qualities, a good film critic or a good film review should be well organized. It's like writing a composition. It should be well organized and comprehensive. that is, includes everything. Honesty and accuracy are required. Of course, you should be honest. Therefore, it is important not to be biased when judging others' work. Your evaluation should be based on facts. When judging other people's work, we should give them the rights they deserve. Remember, when you are writing a film critic or a film review, you are judging the work of other people. So you should be reasonable and you should give them the rights they deserve. Okay, let's move to the last question in this lesson, which is, which film would you recommend to your friends and why? Purposely, I did not write an answer to this question because it's your home assignment. I hope you will write an answer to this question and hand it to your teacher, who is going to comment on it and give an evaluation of your writing. Of course, don't forget to include the things that we have covered in this lesson. And that was all for today. I hope you have learned how to write a film review. And now I leave you to complete your task and see you next time.